everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Carol. I'm a freelance lifestyle journalist, consultant, and content creator, and it's been around 6 months since we moved to Tokyo. My name is Carol Malasig, and we're here at Almost Diplomatic. And I'm so excited to share with you how life has been, especially now that we're in the thick of summer. But before we get into that, just a little backgrounder for people who are new here. The reason why I am living in Tokyo currently is because of my husband's diplomatic posting. It's the reason why we have lived before in Kuala Lumpur, in Berlin, and of course our home base is Manila. We moved to Tokyo at the tail end of last year, and I feel like we're settling in quite well, or at least well enough for me to sit down and start filming another YouTube video for you guys. And that's where we currently are in the story. So let's get on with my half-year-old impressions. And I swear I'm gonna try my best not to sound like a patronizing foreigner who's going on and on about how Japan is living in 2050. Trust me, I know, I come from the Philippines and I really hate it when foreigners use our country and my people for clickbait. First off, I think the most pleasant surprise so far is how incredibly dog-friendly Tokyo is. Our little family, especially our 6-year-old Corgi Juancho, have been enjoying open spaces and parks in the city. And there are even restaurants and cafes that allow him inside, which really makes it a joy to explore the city together. While it's also true that finding an apartment if you have a dog can be quite challenging in Tokyo, and especially if your dog is heavier than 10 kilos like ours, once you find your apartment, you will find that things are gonna be much better. So you just have to get through that one hurdle. We found a neighborhood that is extremely dog friendly, where he has lots of friends and his quality of life is just so good. He loves it here. Secondly, recycling here in Tokyo is truly next level. The attention to detail and the commitment to sorting waste properly is truly impressive. Different types of garbage are collected on specific days of the week. Plastic needs to be cleaned out before you throw it. And burnables, which include food waste, are collected only twice a week. So you have to plan your way around that, especially since you don't want food waste sitting in a bin when the temperatures are higher. It's definitely been a learning curve, but it has also been inspiring to see the level of effort that goes into being environmentally conscious. Despite being a bustling metropolis, Tokyo has a unique serenity to it. You can be in the heart of the city and still find pockets of quiet and peace. And while it can be crowded and public trash cans are quite scarce, well, it's still a very clean city. People just take their trash home with them, where again, they'll sort it out properly. I absolutely love this mindful culture and all these contrasts. You know, you can even find these pockets of quiet even during your commute. I've heard of people refer to trains as meditation zones. So if you are going to visit, make sure that you keep your voice slow. If you can be quiet, that's even better. But yeah, at least try to talk with a softer voice if you are taking public transport. And speaking of public transport, it's phenomenal in Tokyo. The buses, trams, and trains, they are all incredibly efficient, making going around the city a breeze. And honestly, I don't think I've ever felt so connected to a place just because of its transport system. Convenience is a huge priority here, from the 24-hour convenience stores to the technological innovations that make life so much easier. We've all heard of the toilets that clean you up, and that might just be my favorite thing in our apartment, along with the amazing storage options. But here, it's not just about being tech savvy though. It's also about managing the flow of people in a busy station, having vendo machines every few meters or so for in case somebody needs a drink. Everything is just made to be so convenient for everyone, and it adds to the quality of life, which I truly appreciate here. Next, it's no secret that the dining scene is just fantastic. Whether it's Japanese cuisine or international food, there's always something new to try within the city. As a big foodie myself, I've been having a field day the last 6 months, just really enjoying the food, and I think the only reason why I'm able to maintain my weight is all the walking that we've been doing here. So if you're a foodie, just know you would definitely love it here. One thing to note though, bikes on the sidewalk. And they are quite common here. Although bigger roads do have dedicated bike lanes, the inner streets that are a bit more narrow tend to share the walkways with the cyclists. So always just be mindful when you're walking. They're also super quiet when it comes to biking, so it's a little bit more difficult to realize that they are already near you. But these cyclists are very polite. They always give way to pedestrians and will zigzag just through a crowd very very politely. And they will always stop for you when you're walking across the streets. So just always be mindful of them. It's going to make life so much easier for you. So I guess it goes without saying that Tokyo is one of those big cities that you really have to be aware of your surroundings. Don't be looking at your phone while you're walking, or just like looking up and appreciating the surroundings. If you really want to do that, like stop for a little bit. Don't do that while walking, because sometimes you'll be walking too slow and then you'll be disrupting the flow of people. Don't be a mewaku, or somebody who causes inconvenience to others. That is a word that I learned quite early on because it's something that I don't want to be. Now, about the summer. It's hot and humid and it's only July, and I've already been warned that it's going to be worse in August and September. Coming from the tropics, I thought I was going to be prepared for this, and you know, I'm just going to be ready, and I'm used to heat and humidity. But it's really something else during this time of year, so always be prepared. Stay hydrated and find some shade. I do wear sunscreen a lot to avoid sun damage, but I never shy away from a tanning opportunity. So I was never one to be really into using umbrellas on a warm day. However, I do find myself looking at UV umbrellas nowadays just so I could have enough shade when walking outside. So right now, I'm really on the hunt for a cute UV blocking umbrella. If you have any leads, please leave them in the comments. And I know there are a lot in Tokyo, so I'm really having a hard time choosing one. It's the kind of shade that we all need. People here are really polite and helpful, and they will go out of their way to assist you with something. And I feel like despite the language barrier, that has really helped us make our transition here much smoother. For example, I've asked friends who speak Japanese, English, and even Tagalog to help us out with paperwork, because that is something that you will get a lot of here, paper. You'll have to deal with a lot of paperwork because although Japan is technologically advanced in a lot of things, they are also quite traditional with certain processes, and that includes filing and paperwork. Filing things the analog way is still a thing here, so make sure that you find friends who can help you with this step. Finally, there's never a shortage of things to do. Every neighborhood has its own unique character and charm, and I just love exploring them. There are 23 wards in Tokyo, and each ward has its own collection of neighborhoods that have the cutest small businesses, the quirkiest cafes, and even small shops that sell the most specific things. There's so much to see within the city, and although we've gone on day trips, my husband and I have been to Kawagoe, to Kamakura, and to Yokohama. We've also been with family and friends to Hakone, Lake Yamanaka, and even Oshinohakai. So we've gone out, but not that far yet, just because we feel like there's so many things to do here and we'll probably never run out. But we will, at some point, explore outside the Kanto region when my husband finally gets to go on leave. But I'm not complaining, nor should I be in a hurry, because whether it is cultural hotspots, local markets, or just random things to do, Tokyo has a wealth of these, and there's just an adventure waiting in every corner. So there you have it, my impressions of Tokyo after 6 months or so of living here. It's been an incredible journey so far, and I'm so excited to share more with you. Do let me know what you'd like to see or learn about next about living in Japan, diplomacy, or even lifestyle content, and I'll try to create that video for you. I promise I'll be a little bit more active on YouTube from now on. I hope to see you again here and in other social media platforms. Just search for Almost Diplomatic on Facebook, Instagram, X, which was formerly Twitter. I'm also on Threads, and yeah, even TikTok. So thanks for hanging out with me, and keep it classy, everybody.